Well, folks, it's been a while. I started to make a video last weekend, and I didn't get there. The reason I'm moving is because I'm in the sun. I want you to be able to see me, but I can't look at the camera because the sun wants to burn my eyeballs out. So, there we go. Welcome to the homestead. Last night, I think it was last night. No, it was Thursday night. Thursday night, half our room went dark. I was like, well, doggone it, what the heck? Well, after I got done being mad about it, I started thinking about where the wires were and everything, and I remembered that I had put a junction box to bypass a wire I had cut accidentally when I replaced a piece of floor. Why the mobile home had a piece of wire, live wire, in that spot? I have no idea. But anyway, I cut a wire, and so it killed half my rooms. What I did is I jumped over to a section of the room that I knew was live, and I put in a junction and put it on a breaker. Well, that breaker didn't trip, and now I'm standing here thinking about it, and I don't know, maybe I didn't actually put it on a breaker, maybe I thought I did. But anyway, I'm pretty sure I put it on a breaker. But the breaker turned off the whole room now, and I'm looking around. I finally figured out that I made a junction box. And when you get I put a tester into a plug, and I came up with a hot to ground. So that's the reason why the room is dead. There was a hot that was grounded. All right? So that should automatically trip a breaker. It didn't. I'm not the best electrician. I'm not the best person in the world for wiring stuff, and I just try to make stuff work. And sometimes this might be one of them cases where I just didn't do it right, and I'm not aware of it. And I may come down the road somewhere and replace all this wiring, this mobile home wiring, and I might say, oh, why did I do it that way? Well, right now I didn't. But when I opened up the junction box, that was inside it. Now, I was using Wagos, and I found these connectors. You notice there's not a tab on them, so they're not Wagos. They're one-way connectors, as far as I know. And the reason I was using these and Wagos is because wing nuts don't work for me. I can twist my wires together, put them in a wing nut, and it looks at me and says, I'm tight. And it falls apart every time. So I quit using wing nuts because these are better technology. Apparently not. Because that's a burned up connector. That's a hot to ground right there, buddy. That little twisted part right there, that's the ground. So, anyway, I almost burned my house down Thursday night. That's my claim to fame right now. Anyway, I'm out here moving stuff around because I got a saw out here underneath the carport. Plus, we got some cabinets under here that are part of a future project. We're not at the point of just saying, screw the project and never doing it. I would like to do it. I mean, it's something I want to do. It's just, life is just really busy for one man working 40 hours a week. And, he comes home, he's tired. Anyway, I haven't made a video in a while. So I'm going to look at the clips I have from last week and then look at these clips that I make this week and see what kind of hodgepodge collection of clips I can come up with. So I had a project sitting under here, and I still got a project. But I've moved it out of the way because we need to fill this wood rack up. And I need to make a decision about another wood rack. And the missus has been talking about she wants to be able to use her carport for a car. And it dawned on me that the carport is 16 feet wide. So there's a piece right there. I need to get that out of here because that project ain't never going to happen. That was going to be the base for a cabinet that I was going to use in the garage. And yeah, that ain't going to happen. That cabinet there, I would like to put it in the living room or someplace, but it was a free cabinet. It's a utility cabinet. It's one of them tall cabinets. And then I got this metal cabinet here. I want to use it in the farm stand. which obviously I would need to clean it up at least a little bit. But I want to use that in the farm stand. And we got this metal cabinet here. And we got this one over here. And I would like to either use them in the garage. I like to preferably use them in the garage. But anyway, then I've got this base right here. This is a retail cabinet. This is a display cabinet or whatever. Anyway, I'd like to be able to use it in the farm stand and that bench, which used to be a TV stand. I built it for a TV stand. That wood there, I call that industrial driftwood. I found it on the shore of the San Jacinto River. So anyway, then this is a plant stand that we got from somewhere. I would like to use it in the farm stand too. But these cabinets are all uppers. There's three up and two. Three? I thought there's three. Yeah, there's two uppers here. There's two uppers here. Two uppers here. And then that gives us three bases. This base, and that base. And this is a sink base. But the way I'd want to use it is I'd want to use it just as a base. And that as a base. And then put the sink and the dishwasher in between that. And put a curtain on that cabinet. That's kind of the way I'm thinking about doing that. But we also have this set of drawers. And then there's two drawers there. So, I mean, you would have the look of drawers, but they're not drawers. They're sponge drawers. Because it's a sink base. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm moving stuff around. But I'm thinking that we would have enough space from that plywood right there to the front of this rack to be able to get the car in here. Obviously, everything else in front, this side of the plywood had to be moved. But anyway, this saw here, we're going to clean it up, and we're going to put it to use cutting firewood here in a little bit. Poor thing needs some cleaning. TLC. Ends up on my farm and they don't get TLC. I'm sorry. But, yeah, this is one of the things I bought when I was in Houston with my fantasy of having a homestead. By myself, by the way. Well, now I've got a homestead, but I'm not by myself. I've got other people to work with. So, there we go. So anyway, that's a kindling box and this is a kindling box. And they're like 40 inches or so. So, yeah, even with these two boxes, the carport itself is 16 feet wide. So, I mean, we got plenty of space for the car if she still wanted to do that. That would mean I'd have to rearrange stuff to make everything else fit in here. But I can't use my lumber the way it's stacked anyway. So I need to figure out something I can do with my lumber. I've got stuff over there on that side and stuff over here on this side, and I can't get to it because stuff is stacked on it. So, anyway. Plus, if it wasn't sat there, I could probably use that for wood storage. Anyway. Last clip, I mentioned firewood and stuff, and by the time I turned the camera off, I remembered that I wanted to say a few words about the Poulan that I bought. That chainsaw. When it heats up, when the one I bought, when it heats up, it doesn't want to run. And at some point it won't start, period. It won't do it. You can prime it, you can shake it, you can cuss it, you can give it new names, you can do whatever you want to, and it won't start. It just looks at you and says, I'm hot, I'm not going to do it. So, anyway, last weekend, we came across, well, actually, several weekends ago, we came across some free wood on Marketplace. All we had to do is come and cut it up. So, I took my trusty Poulan, and I went down there to cut it up. That's all I got out of that 40-mile one-way trip because my trusty Poulan would not freaking run. So, I got a Poulan sitting in the garage, and it's either going to a pawn shop or it's going to a junkyard or marketplace. I don't care where it goes, but it's done. Somebody else can have that piece of junk. Now, the other thing is I basically had the same thing happen. This is some more free firewood that I just came across. It was laying in the lady's yard, and she is a tenant. And she said, well, my landlord is supposed to be getting it out of here, but he just never did. So I had to sharpen saws, and that took a minute, but the saw didn't want to run. I finally made it run a little while, and I finally had to give up because it just wouldn't run. So, well, by the time I got my blades sorted out, my chains sorted out, got them all sharpened up and ready to go, I was getting ready to go over there. I drove by there and it was gone. It's all cleaned up. It was inside of the city limits. And so I basically was on a time crunch. This tree here that I went out to get last weekend, it was out in the country. It's out in the guy's pasture, basically on his fence. And he had turned it off the fence so that his horses wasn't going to get out. But yeah, all because the saw don't want to run. So I have no mercy for the saw. You crank the handle, it's supposed to run. Yeah, so it's done. It was a $200 saw anyway. So I'll spend $200 on a Harbor Freight, so I'll put the surface plan on it. When it don't run, I'll take it to Harbor Freight, so I need a new one. Yeah, that'd be a way to do that. Hopefully the batteries work. I don't know. They're big, bulky batteries, and they're probably going to be heavy as all get out. And I don't know. I don't care. We don't have a lawnmower because we couldn't keep his lawnmower running. And we don't have a chainsaw because it don't want to run. It's time to go buy some that will freaking run. No mixing oil, no checking fluids. Crank it up. Just flip the switch and go. We live in the age of automatic transmissions. Screw the stick shift. Okay, well, another clip. We got a bunch of stuff down there that has it. I'm going to have to cut it with a chainsaw. But this is, I'm cutting this with the chop saw. And this is going to be kindling. I'm cutting with the chop saw. And this is probably going to end up being mostly kindling too. This is from the first tree I tried to get and couldn't get all my ducks to line up. I got more wood in the trailer, but I ain't messing with that yet. And I tried to step that through my foot. That didn't feel good. So, yeah, I'm using this chop saw. And I didn't realize it, but the handle is breaking on it. It looks like I can get a replacement handle. And if that's the case, then that's what I'll do. Because I bought this thing on clearance sale or something for like $175 or something. And it's been a really good saw. I haven't really used the compound part of it too much. But, yeah. So, that's what I'm doing. Making more clips. Well, I started to make a video about the place. And we got this thing floating around in our yard. Scared shitless or whatever. It's hot, or hungry, or thirsty, or something. But it's not ours. And I can't tell. It won't stay still. Can't tell if it's a male or what. Yeah, nope. It looks like it's a female. Yeah, that don't surprise me. It does. It looks like a female. I don't know who it belongs to. I'm trying to walk away from the house and maybe it'll find this direction, but because it's got a collar. And it's a mother. Can't tell if she's got puppies or not. I'll walk down the road a little ways and see. I can't tell if she's leading me somewhere or what, but I'm trying to lead her away from the house. We don't need another dog in the yard. And this dog here looks like he got off his leash, something like that. Can't tell. It seems like it might be trying to lead me somewhere. I ain't sure. Anyway, wasn't my intended video. So, let me go ahead and do what I'm doing here and come back in a little bit. So my project, I've got to move the goats and the cow again. That back pasture is dead on them. I got a front pasture, but I ain't got it nowhere near ready to go. The back pasture is mostly fenced in. I still got mostly a hot wire and everything for it. So what my plan is, I take this down. I think we're done with the brooder chickens. I think we're done with that. So we'll take this down, save the wire, the hardware cloth, save the shade cloth. I think it'll work. That part right there, that with the roof on it, I'll use it for a rabbit hutch. And this door, I'll use it on the chicken coop. The dog is still here. The dog issue hasn't been resolved, but I'm out here taking care of this old chicken coop. Yeah, I did a pretty good job of building it. I really didn't expect to be taking it down. But here we are. We're taking it down. Yeah, it's not going to take as long to take it down as it did to put it up. That's it. Anyway, I did find out one thing. The boards, this lumber don't look like it's in bad shape. But yeah, it has no structural strength anymore. I don't know if you can actually see the lumber. Can't tell what I'm pointing at. All I see is a shiny face. But anyway, that lumber right there. I think it's frustrating that you buy stuff and you expect it to work, and along the way you realize it's really not working. But I do have an axle back there that I paid $20 to put wheels on. So I do have an axle back there I can use for something. Most of this I'm just going to sell it for scrap unless the missus has a better idea. But I'll try to save some of this tie wire. And of course all this hardware cloth. That stuff was $250 a roll. So I'll save that. And then we got some shade cloth. We got that net. Let me turn this around. So yeah, we got this net that's on the outside. You can't really see it because of the hardware cloth and the sun shining on the hardware cloth. But anyway, there's some shade cloth there and it's pretty light. Then you got this. This shade cloth is really dark because that's not shade cloth and that's not shade cloth, but it was a trampoline and it will work for shade cloth. Not that sure how I'm going to use it, but yeah, it's gotta get this stuff done. And once I get the wire down, I think, like I said, I think the frame up, we'll just scrap it. I don't really see what we'll do with it. All I did was take a trampoline frame, turn it upside down, and then put the guardrail, whatever they call it, up. And so basically the legs are upside down and the guardrails make the walls of the thing. And, I did try to give the chickens some shade and a little roof to be under, but like I said, I just take that roof out, turn it into a rabbit hutch. We got a rabbit to move too. Alright, so I'm taking the little pieces of wire that's right here in between the two layers of hardware cloth. I'm taking them out, but I'm not trying to save them. I'm not really trying to save the strap either. If I end up needing it for something before I dump it in the recycle bin, then I'll use it. But metal recycle, so I don't actually throw that much metal away. But anyway, like I said, I'll take all this apart. That little rod right here. I could almost say it's got a use, but I don't know what it'd be. Anyway, apparently the dog has picked me as its owner. It's right here, where I'm at. Why me, Lord? Well, I got the top half of the wire done. It didn't look like a whole lot when I was hanging up there on that chicken coop, but I've come to realize that the circumference of a circle is roughly 3 times its diameter. So, the 4-foot trampoline gives you, I don't know math. 3 12s is 36. So, there you go. 2 14s is 28. So 28 plus 14. What was that, 30? Was it 42? I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole lot of hardwood cloth right there. There's a whole lot of hardwood cloth laying there. And I got another full sheet. We still got a dog. She is not interested in going anywhere. She's decided I am her new friend. Which has been money to support these habits.